I remember speaking with the person that I'm staying with now and his brother, and them telling me about the life that they created and how they've changed everything around, and just saying to myself, you know what, I'm going to do that for myself. I'm going to find a way to create that kind of freedom in my own life. And I had some ups and downs. Nothing happened automatically. Things didn't just happen overnight. You know, there were very good highs, and unfortunately there were some lows, but I knew in my heart that I was going the right way, and so I didn't let the lows bring me down. I didn't let that stop me, because too many people stop when they run into an obstacle or a roadblock, when they don't exactly get the result that they were expecting. And I think you just have to treat those experiences as learning lessons. There is no failure, really. The only failure is to quit. There is no other failure. There's nothing you can do wrong that can be considered failure. The only failure would really be to not be fulfilled in what you're doing, not stay true to yourself, or to just quit on something that you really want to do. And that's something that I think is very important to think about. And I think about it a lot. Up until the last 60 days or so, I was feeling discouraged, but I knew that I was still on the right track. I knew that even though it was an expensive education, I was still paying to learn how to do something the right way. And so I never thought about the money that I was spending as money being spent or lost. I always thought of it as being invested. I've already spent over $40,000 to get an education in the United States, and the degree was really only going to offer me an opportunity to make very close to the same amount of money that I was making in my job. So I know that you can spend money and get no results. But I'm sure that if I was really serious about the job that I was going to school for, if I really wanted to be an engineer, and that was something that I was very, very passionate about, well, then I would never have looked at the cost of education as a waste of money. I wouldn't have asked my professors, how much is this class going to cost me? I wouldn't have said things like that. I would have been happy to be in the class. I would have been taking notes and learning, doing everything I could. And if you want something bad enough, you can't think about money as being wasted, as something that's a cost. You have to look at it as an investment tool. All money does is give you access to information. It gives you access to people. It gives you the ability to do things that you wouldn't be able to do. So it's buying power, really. And that buying power is what gives you the leverage. So the more buying power you have, the more leverage you have with your time, with your freedom, with the things you want to do. And every time that I have a chance to speak with anybody about it, that's really the topic that I talk about, because I know that there's a couple of things that I could be doing, but there's one thing that is truly important, and you just have to focus on one thing at a time. Just focus on one thing at a time. You look at somebody, you say, okay, this person, for example, my mentors here, these guys are making over 6 figures. They've been doing that for a long time. They're into the 7 figures now. And, they're already starting to create additional businesses that they're going to scale up to 7 figures as well. So I could sit here and I could say, well, I don't have a 7-figure business. I don't have the opportunity to make multiple 7-figure business. Or I can think about how I have a 6-figure business and how I can increase that percentage of, sales by 1%. How can I do that? Or how can I learn one new skill that I don't know that could potentially help me to earn more in my business? Or what lessons can I take away from people who are earning 7 figures that can help me live a 7-figure lifestyle, even if I haven't completely earned the 7 figures yet? And that's how I choose to look at it. I choose to find ways to see the good in every situation. And now that I'm here in this position, my next step is to figure out how to do that on a larger scale. And then I know that once I can do it on a larger scale, I can start to have a bigger impact, and I can start to influence more people's lives. And so that's really where my passion is in helping people to change their lives. But in order to do that, I have to help myself and change my own life first. So I hope that makes a lot of sense, because when I talk with people, I know they're serious about changing their lives, but I know that a lot of us are brainwashed into thinking that because of social media and because of what we see on TV and things, we think that we're not good enough, or that we're doing something wrong because we don't have this flashy lifestyle. We're not all driving Lamborghinis and, living in $1 million homes and traveling, 50 weeks out of the year. But those are great things to have. Materialistic things do push people, and they do give people motivation, and they're very inspirational to see, But when it all boils down, it's about doing what makes you feel better. And it's about knowing that you just have to stick to the plan and worry about where you are right now and where the next step takes you. I don't need to worry about the next 50 steps to become a millionaire and have multiple $1 million businesses right now. What I need to focus on the most is, how do I make the business that I have more profitable? How do I make it fit into my lifestyle better? How do I impact more people's lives through this business? And how can I be of value to more people right now, today, with the skills that I have, and by reaching the next step? And in doing so, I know that the next step will continue to lead me to the next step. And the steps after that will take me to where I want to go. And so it's just really about not overwhelming yourself and sticking to where you are and being true to that place. If you don't have what you want, then you just need to find out what the next step is to get closer to that goal. You can't instantly go from not having something to having it. You have to find out what the steps are in between. So I think that's all I'll say for right now. We do have some stuff planned. We're going to be here for a while, and I'm not sure exactly where we're going to go, but we did go downstairs to the gym here, did a short workout. That was actually kind of fun because we're so used to pounds and all the weights were in kilos, and it was fun trying to do the math and then, lifting a few weights that were maybe too heavy and just running into normal travel issues, things that are kind of funny. I also think the outlets here are different. In Singapore and here we noticed that not the outlet like the charger, that's obviously different, but the switches. In the States, we always have our light switches are sort of like what is it? It's like an actual switch, you turn on. Here they've got these little switches, and they actually have an on and off switch for the outlets. So I just thought it was kind of funny because I was trying to plug in some things and it wasn't working, and I was thinking, oh, these adapters that we bought, they burnt out or something's wrong, and then I realized that there was actually an on button for the outlet, and I thought that was kind of funny. So anyway.